Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. My name is Tanya, and I promise this is my last Boursin cheese recipe for a while anyway. Okay, so I found a recipe the other day and I thought, oh, that sounds really interesting, and it has Boursin. I'll use that kind of in that week of doing Boursin cheese recipes since I learned how to make it from scratch. It was just too much fun and it was so good. And then I can't remember what I did with the recipe. I did a screenshot, but I don't know where I put it. You know, I'm pretty famous for losing things like that. So I just make up my own. We're just gonna make up our own. This is Boursin Pasta. So you are free to leave out the meat. You are free to change up the vegetables in this to anything you want and leave out the ones that you don't care for. So I have heavily salted water boiling right here. Let me turn this down so you can see what I'm talking about. And I have 8 ounces of pasta. Is that not the funnest stuff? That looks like little loaves of French bread. But this is Italian pasta, not enriched. Remember, when you look for pasta, enriched macaroni product. Avoid those at all cost and go with something that is called Italian pasta. That's what you're going to look for. Other things have just too much changes to them, and you're not getting what you probably think you're getting. So we're going to add our pasta to our boiling salted water. I'm going to give it just a little bit of a stir to make sure it doesn't stick together. We're going to cook that. And I'll come back in just a second and show you what else we're going to do. All right, our pasta is almost cooked to the point that I want it. It's still got a little bite to it, and I like that, but I want to get it just a tiny bit softer than that, just in case my husband goes, "Did you cook this?" I don't want to be asked that. Okay, in this skillet, so we have our half a pound of pasta going in this pot, heavily salted water. When I say heavily salted, like a teaspoon and a half for 8 ounces of pasta. That's quite a bit of salt. So in this skillet, just a small skillet, I have heated it up already. And I'm putting a tablespoon of butter in there. You are free to use olive oil if you want to use olive oil, and that would be just fine. Also have 1 link of, where did I put that package? Oh, I put it over here. Okay, this is uncured smoked sausage. No added nitrates or nitrites, no fillers, artificial ingredients. So just 1 link of this. 4 of them in a package, so 1 link of that. And I sliced it up. I sliced it in pretty thin slices. There's about 20 slices there. We'll get that going. In here I also have 3 fresh mushrooms sliced up. These are they creminis? I don't know. Anyway, darker mushrooms. Can't remember what I had. I have about a half of a yellow pepper. I had a little bit of red pepper in there because there was one in my little flower bed that didn't look like it was going to last much longer, so I cut up part of it. So sweet pepper, not a green one, but just a colored pepper. And then about a half cup of thinly sliced onion. When I say thinly sliced, it's about like that. This will fall apart when it starts sauteing. They're organic baby bella mushrooms, so little tiny baby bellas. All right, we'll add our veggie mixture in there. And I just want these to cook enough to where the onion starts getting transparent. I'm going to go ahead and drain this. I'll get my strainer ready. And I've already turned the burner off underneath this. So we're just going to let these cook. Okay, just going to drain these. Man, I must have let that cook over a while ago. I got pink salt in there. Okay, while this is still hot, I'm going to add our half of our container of Boursin cheese. Remember we made a batch of homemade Boursin cheese, and I used half of it for a recipe the other day. And this other half is going to go in there like that. I'm also gonna, would y'all move over? Come on. The whole room, and they want at my feet. I don't even know what that's about. I love my doggies, but they stand right under my feet. I don't know why. No clue. Okay, this is a cup of heavy cream. I'm going to add it to that as well. And I'm just going to let the heat stay in there as much as I can. That's why I put the lid back on there. And the burner is still a little bit warm, so it's just going to melt that boursin and heat that heavy cream up. I also have some Parmesan Reggiano. This is what it looks like. And I just shredded that. It's in a pile over here on my cutting board. And I'm going to add some of that to the pan as well. The recipe, well, I say the recipe, I just wrote it down a while ago because I knew what I was going to do. I wrote down about a half a cup, but you know, it's cheese. I just like a lot of cheese. So we may add a lot more. If you enjoy spiciness, you could put sliced jalapenos in these. You could put grape tomatoes in these, cherry tomatoes, and that would lend a very, very nice flavor to it. Even if you want to put feta in it and use zucchini and squash, that would be delightful too. But the Boursin cheese is what's going to give this the most flavor. You're just adding vegetables because you know they're good for you. Okay, I'm going to take a look and see if our stuff's melted. I want you to be able to see it too. Oh my goodness. That kind of smells like the best Alfredo. The Boursin is almost melted all the way. I think by the time I put the meat and veggies on that, it should do the trick. Now, in the recipe I'm going to put in the description, it says transfer it to a serving bowl or a platter or something, and then top it with this. But it's just me and my husband, and I'm not wasting a platter and have to wash that. I'm going to wash one pan. Well, two pans. Because I tell you what's going to happen. We're going to eat dinner, and he's going to go, oh, that was so good. And we're going to go walk the dogs on campus. We like to go over to, our Harding University is here in our town, and the students aren't back yet. And we have the whole place to ourselves. It's so much fun. Except for last night, there were two dogs without a leash, and they were running around. I don't know whose they were, but it did not make me happy. But it was about time for us to go home anyway. But we go over there and walk for about an hour, and I don't feel quite as full when I walk as I do if I just eat dinner and then, you know, sit and do something without moving my legs. Okay, I think our Boursin's all melted. That looks pretty good. Okay, see what we got here? It looks like macaroni and cheese. And that's not a bad thing. Okay, I think our veggies are cooked enough. Our onions are turning transparent right now. So that's going to be good. All right, I'm going to just dump this in that. And I can just stir it all together. But not before I put more cheese on it. Okay, I'm thinking this looks perfect. And I'll let you know in the comments what we think about it, but I really doubt it's going to get a bad review. because this is basically macaroni and cheese with some meat and vegetables on it. So I think this looks fabulous. The Boursin cheese is going to give it such a good flavor, and I'm excited about knowing how to make it because I keep hearing that you can add Boursin cheese to scrambled eggs, and they're fabulous, and I have no doubt. But yeah, for me to remember that when I'm making scrambled eggs would be a challenge. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this when you give it a try. And recipe is in the description as always. We look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Bye guys. Thank you for watching. Whoops.